If you're hearing this, you're not a scroll. You're not here by accident. You didn't stumble onto this. You showed up again. You've been watching, executing, thinking, and now you're standing on the other side of the first fire. That means one thing. You're a centurion. You followed the compass when most men scroll past it, and that's what separates you from the weak. Let me say this clearly. I see you. If you've walked even part of the compass, if you've taken notes, if you've paused a short and watched a full mission, you're not one of them. You're one of us. And I want to take a moment right now to walk you through the reason why this matters, why you matter, and why you are now part of something very few men ever experience. The compass wasn't built to entertain, it was built to transform. And the fact that you're still here tells me you want more than motivation. You want mastery, so let's go back and walk through what you've survived and what you're becoming. Path 1, self-image. This is where the war started. You looked in the mirror and told the truth. You stripped away the fake smiles, the lies, the surface-level pride, and you rebuilt, not for attention, not for likes, but for power. You saw yourself as you are and as you must become. Path 2, goal setting. You stopped wandering. You chose a direction. You set targets, not dreams. You made the map real. This wasn't about vision boards and fantasy. It was about war plans. And you started walking, one mission at a time. Path 3, personal finance. You opened your eyes to the numbers. You stopped hiding from the math. You realized that every dollar you spend, every cent you waste is either building your freedom or burying you. You started tracking, managing, and controlling because kings know their kingdoms. Path 4, earning power. You stopped begging for raises. You stopped praying someone would value you. You became the value. You learned how to earn at will. You picked up new skills. You opened your mind to the market. You started stacking power, not just paychecks. Path 5, problem solving. You stopped making excuses. You faced chaos and you didn't flinch. You started solving things instead of running from them. Problems didn't become smaller, you became stronger. You learned to think under fire. You became a strategist, not a complainer. Path 6, relationship building. You cut the fake people. You owned your role as a leader, brother, father, friend. You stopped chasing attention and started commanding respect. You showed up for the right people and you walked away from the wrong ones. Your circle got smaller but tighter. You're no longer surrounded, you're supported. Path 7, health. You stopped abusing your body, you started moving with intention, you stopped calling it self-care and started calling it self-discipline. You began to rebuild the machine that carries your mission. Sleep, food, training, recovery. You took the wheel. Your body became your weapon again. Path 8, happiness. You stopped chasing dopamine, you found joy in the quiet, you learned to hold peace in the storm. You realized happiness isn't a feeling, it's a decision backed by alignment. You smiled, not because life is easy, but because you're finally in control. Path 9, repose. You learned to disconnect with power. You took time to recover like a warrior, not escape like a coward. You stopped using rest as an excuse and started using it as a tool. You stopped the noise. You recharged in silence. You mastered the power of stillness, and that's where the fire sharpened itself. Path 10, spirituality. You went inward, you listened, you questioned everything you were told, and you found your own code. You realized you're not just flesh and mind, you're spirit. You connected with something higher, stronger, and eternal. You stopped kneeling in weakness and started walking in truth. Path 11, personal development. You studied, you unlearned. You absorbed truth and rejected weakness. You read, listened, watched, and applied. You became a learner again, hungry, sharp, teachable. You became the student and the weapon. And now your brain is catching up with your mission. Path 12, basic personal investing. You stopped spending, you started planting. You looked at your time and money as weapons. You started building assets, habits, accounts, skills, ownership. You're no longer a consumer, you're becoming an architect. You don't just work for money, you make it work for you. And now here you are, past the halfway point, or maybe deep into the final paths. Either way, let me tell you this. You are not the man who started this journey. You have burned the old self. You have picked up the sword, and you are building something the scrolls will never understand. They will scroll, they will comment, they will doubt, they will flinch, but you are building, you are executing, you are earning your shield. Every time you open the journal, every time you grab your planner, every time you click on a drop and take notes, you're doing what they won't. You are proving that discipline still matters, that honor still matters, that effort still matters, that men like us still rise. So here's the next mission. Stay on the path, bring others with you, and never scroll again. You are a centurion now. You've earned your place. Now earn your shield. We are building the next 1,000, and you're already one of us. Fight on.